Now at 7, Olympic controversy as President Trump responds to some athletes in Team USA and what they had to say at press conferences. We'll have more on that, plus checking in on how some local athletes are doing. Our Olympic coverage continues live from Milan, coming up at 7:12.
And more unspent funds found within the city of Portland. This time it's millions of dollars from the Arts Tax Fund after the city just discovered it had $100 million in unspent housing money. We have the latest coming up in your local headlines. Plus,
city, county, and state leaders are doing all they can here in Oregon to keep the Blazers here in the Rose City. We'll tell you what that entails as Sunrise, streaming live at 7, starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
and I'm Matthew Herchick. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Rod Hale and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at our weather and traffic.
Hi, everybody. What are we, just under 30 minutes before the sun pops up at this point, and we're starting to brighten up on our cameras. So far, we have not seen much fog down around Salem. Good visibility. Obviously, looking at the state capitol, 40 is the temperature there. We have seen some fog in other parts of the valley. This is up in elevation a little bit, looking nice from the Salem Tasting Room in Sherwood, 39 degrees. And there you can see the low cloudiness, kind of foggy, hunkering down over downtown Portland from the Pioneer Park building. Temperature outside, again, 37. So chilly, but above freezing. We'll be partly to mostly sunny once we lose the fog. 49 at noon. I've got us 51 at 5 o'clock, and then that 2 to 3 o'clock hour will probably bounce up into the mid-50s today. Pretty nice. Here's Chris.
Rod found some of that fog east side of Vancouver. There it is, I-205 up near SR 500. Also, between Patton Parkway and SR 500, looks like we've got a second fender bender that's causing a little bit of local slowing there. The drive actually in better shape now than it was about 15 minutes ago, but nonetheless, watch out for the fog on the east side of town there, east side of Vancouver, that is. This is a look at I-5. Of course, that southbound drive slow and steady once you get south of SR 500. We're up to about 13 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. And over on the west side, inbound Sunset, there we go, bouncing around between 19 and 20 minutes or so to get you in from Hillsborough. So far, not too bad on the roads just yet, guys.
Thank you, Chris. New overnight, a pedestrian is taken to the hospital with serious injuries after a hit and run in southeast Portland. This happened just before 10:30 last night on Southeast 122nd Avenue and Woodard Place. Police say the driver who caused the crash drove off. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
And we are working to get more details on what led to a deadly crash that closed part of Highway 30 near Rainier last night. Oregon State Police say 2 vehicles were involved. They say there were serious injuries and a death, though they didn't provide any more specifics. Columbia River Fire and Rescue posted these photos that show a life flight helicopter. Highway 30 at Larson Road and Heath Road was closed in both directions as crews responded. We will update you as soon as we get more information. Meanwhile, developing this morning, both the city of Portland and the state appear to be ponying up in an effort to keep the Trailblazers in Portland.
Lawmakers are unveiling a plan to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for a major facelift of the Moda Center. That's where we find Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz this morning. All right, Thomas, bring us up to speed on the latest here.
Yeah, guys, there's a lot of moving parts to keep track of here. I want to start first with the state. State Senate President Rob Wagner proposed legislation yesterday that would allow the state to own the Moda Center with the city of Portland. Currently, the city is the sole owner. The bill would create a funding plan for the $600 million Moda Center renovation that Blazers' new ownership group is asking for. This comes after we reported the city of Portland is considering an investment package of $365 million for the building late last week if the Blazers sign a new 20-year lease agreement. The current lease is set to expire in 2030, leaving fans watching this situation closely.
I think it's important for our city's identity to have this.
You know, I'd be disappointed if they do leave, definitely. But yeah, I think they'll pony up. I think there's enough players involved that they can find the money.
The new ownership group, led by Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon, is worth billions, leaving some to ask, why do they even need the money?
Right now, I think it's a lot of smoke and a lot of leverage. I think the Blazers stay here. I think the state does the right thing. I think the city right now has got open arms, and the state does as well.
And sports columnist John Canzano, who you just heard from there, says along with the renovations, a good thing that the city could be doing here, along with other leaders, whether that's state or county, is expanding the Rose Quarters and adding things like attractions and restaurants to the area. Meanwhile, the city, county, and state are saying the right things. All say that it is important for them and a key objective to keep the Blazers here in Portland. Guys.
All right, Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thomas, thank you. The city of Portland appears to have discovered another reserve of unspent taxpayer money. This time, a committee overseeing the arts tax says $8.5 million have gone unspent since the city started collecting the money. The arts tax is that annual $35 fee most Portlanders have to pay. It's meant to support art teachers and local art nonprofits. According to the report, the leftover money largely comes from the first year of tax collections. The city says state budget law requires them to maintain sufficient reserves, but still local organizations say they've noticed the money they get has dropped in recent years.
It's a bit of a shock. I think that everybody is happy that there is more funding to help buffer for a plan for the future to help support the arts and culture organizations in a more long-term solution. But I think that there is some concern about why we didn't know this prior to this.
I mean, there's just so many amazing organizations that are still struggling. To know that that money may be accessible is a great thing.
The city's Office of Arts and Culture says it's been in ongoing discussions since last spring on how to manage the reserves. That includes dipping into them to give out more money to keep the Arts Access Fund going.
The amount of unspent housing money that keeps being discovered inside Portland City Hall is now adding up to more than $100 million. It's money meant for things like affordable housing, homelessness, and rent assistance. And this morning we're hearing from the man in charge of city finances.
This is a key component in building trust and transparency with the public with what's happening right now as it relates to the housing fund. But this is just the beginning.
And you can watch more from our interview with a city administrator, including why he's not ruling out the possibility that there's even more money sitting unreported inside City Hall. You can find that on our KGW YouTube channel or streaming on KGW+. After a public vote last month, PBOT has unveiled its second round of winning snowplow names. They are Keep Portland Cleared, Damien Blizzard, a streetcar named Deicer, Pink Pointy Plow, and last but not least, Mrs. Slippy. PBOT will officially reveal the newly named snowplows in October before they hit the road.
All right, 7:07. Let's go over to Rod to let us know whether we're going to need any snowplows this winter.
We are still eyeing at least more of a normal temperature pattern picking up this weekend and then maybe lasting in the first part of March. And by that, I mean most weather systems coming in, giving us some snow, at least down to below Cascade Pass level. Nothing looks concrete for the need of a snowplow here in the city, but still got a little ways to go. We'll see. Here's fog up in Portland, extending up into Scappoose and Hillsborough. Everything's shaded in white. So far, pretty much fog-free of anything significant down in Salem. Our Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club camera out in Aloha. You can see some shallow fog. And otherwise, looks like a little bit of baby blue up top, and it looks like a little bit of frost on the grass as well. Nearby temperature to the Reserve Golf Club is 33 degrees. Hillsborough Airport reporting that, Scappoose the same. We are generally holding above freezing. In fact, it's 41 in downtown Portland right now, and you folks in Salem getting out the door with a temperature of 40. You saw Estacada now down to 32. All right, the afternoon map. This is a dry day once we lose the morning fog, kind of partly to mostly sunny. We have some mid to high level cloudiness coming up from the south. We have temperatures expected to be well up into the 50s, coast and valley. Approaching 50 in Bend. This is a 4 o'clock temperature projection with 40s out across eastern areas. Forecasting all dry weather today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Better chance of seeing freezing temps the next couple of nights. Showers return on Friday, and then it looks to me like it's going to be raining more this weekend than it won't be. I've got both days, Saturday and Sunday, in the mid-40s. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thanks for that. Here's a quick look at your drive time. Starting to inch up a little bit on the west side. Well, we went real quick past that, but I'll bring it back. Hold on. This is I-5 through North Portland. A southbound commute up near the Expo Center. This isn't necessarily unusual, but it is running pretty thick right now from basically the Expo Center down to I-405 and the Fremont Bridge. Door number 2, taking us back over to the west side. There's the Sunset out near the Sylvan Hill. This is Skyline Boulevard down below. Traffic getting a little bit busier, but again, we expect that for this hour of a Tuesday morning commute. And last but not least, down in Tualatin, that still looks good. I-5 northbound traffic still zipping right along. Right now, your drive time's shaping up like this. 18 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough, 19 minutes from Troutdale to the I-5 split. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. Still to come on Sunrise, more Olympic medals breaking as athletes attempt to celebrate their victories. Now, Olympic organizers say they are opening an investigation into the issue. Plus, our Olympic coverage continues live from Milan coming up when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We've hit day 4 of the Milan Cortina Olympics, and the stars on Team USA are ready to shine.
That's right. Anne-Marie Tiernan joins us live in Milan. All right, Anne-Marie, what events are on tap for today?
Well, one of the events that was on tap for today, we already know who won a place on the podium, and it was Team USA getting bronze in the women's combined. The two athletes, Jackie Wiles and Paula Molson, getting third. So Molson is from Minnesota and Wiles is from Oregon. And it's interesting because it was Breezy Johnson and Michaela Schifrin who are the big marquee names that were expected to get a place on the podium in this event. They got fourth. I have to think getting fourth has got to be the most frustrating finish when you go to the Olympics because you're just out of it. And Breezy Johnson did great. She went down in the downhill. She finished first. When Michaela went to the slalom, she just didn't get it together, didn't perform to the best of her ability, and that did cost them the medal. So they're out. Michaela, that was her first race here in Cortina at the 2026 Olympics. So hopefully that's, kind of shake that one off and then move forward. She's an excellent skier, and she's got a lot more competition ahead.
And then we get to watch figure skater Ilya Milinin. His name has been everywhere. So what makes him so special for people who are not familiar with him?
I know, it's a really good question, and I was just able within the last hour to ask that question to Brian Boitano. I mean, he would know, right? He won the gold in men's figure skating at the 1988 Calgary Olympics. He's got this podcast he has here now, Magic in Milan. He's over at the skating rink. He's watching all the time. I said, what is it? And he said, what makes it from good to great is this combination. Number one for the men, technical. You got to have this high technical component. And he said, think about it. When I competed and I got the gold, I did 6 jumps and they were all triples. He's out there doing 6 jumps and they're all quads. That is such a quantum leap in such a short period of time in the sport. Then you add to it the creative artistry, the music, the flow, the creativity, and yet that all has to come together. You have to stitch those technical skills with that flow and movement. As he said, you have to be able to skate, right? You have to be able to get your edges right. And he feels that that's what Ilya does that just makes him so excellent. When asked, what do you look for when you're watching Ilya skate? And he said, you know what? I'm looking for things different than you are. When he goes out there right on the ice, I'm looking at his face. I'm looking at his eyes. I'm looking to see if they're shaken or if he's calm and composed. And he says, you can tell right away, right at the beginning of a routine, of whether they're going to flow or whether they're going to miss the mark. And so I just thought that was really interesting listening to him, because he knows what it's like. He said he literally puts himself kind of in the mind of the skater when they're out there and kind of goes through the routine with them. So he was so excited about him. Ilya is competing in the short program. Then he has the free skate on Friday. So it is those two combined scores for Ilya to get the gold, and that first competition will be today. His big competitor from Japan, that's the one who's pushing him, so hopefully that'll help push him to be his best. Back to you.
All right, they call him the Quad God. We've got women's hockey a lot on deck today. All right, thank you very much, Anne-Marie. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Right.
Meanwhile, new this morning, as Anne-Marie just mentioned there, Canby High School grad Jackie Wiles is now a bronze medalist in the Alpine Skiing Women's Team Combined event. She placed fourth in her portion of the competition, and her combined time with teammate Paula Moltzen brought the pair into third place behind Austria and Germany. And again, as Marie mentioned, Breezy Johnson, Michaela Schifrin surprisingly finished in fourth place.
And just this morning, the U.S. has won 3 more medals for a total of 5. The home country, Italy, now tied with Norway at the top 4 overall total medals with 11 each, followed by Japan and Switzerland. And speaking of medals, Olympic organizers are investigating reports of medals breaking. This is video of a biathlon team celebrating when one of the athletes realized that his bronze medal had fallen off the ribbon. American downhill skiing champion Breezy Johnson talked about her gold medal breaking yesterday within minutes of getting it, leaving it cracked and chipped. Johnson was able to get a replacement, but Olympic organizers say they are aware of the situation and are looking into what's causing the medals to break. Now, when you make these medals, do you just like put them on
stress
the
test
thing?
them at all?
I know, like do you move them a little bit and kind of see?
Just jiggle them?
It seems like it's the clasp this time that's the problem. It seems like, right? That the
Yeah.
metal's falling off.
Yeah, the ribbon and
with
the
a lot of
metal
movement.
separating, yeah.
I mean, there should be a stronger clasp. Hello? Good morning.
Trying to save some money. They figured they could do with the clasp.
It does seem overly ridiculous,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I think the whole world would agree with that. This
Yeah.
is kind of ridiculous.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah. Let's get you out the door. This is one of the few mornings over the past weeks that it's not really, by local standards, cold anywhere in the country. I mean, 26 in Fargo, that's not bad. 39 in Chicago, balmy. 30 in New York, not bad. So that's a nice change of pace for folks. If you are traveling back to the east, you're not dealing with any extreme cold this morning. Here's the west. We do have some rain showers moving into California this morning. You see the low spinning offshore. And this is throwing cloudiness, that low, up into Oregon. But there's no precip chances anywhere today, minus any mist that may be occurring in some of the fog banks that we're seeing this morning. And these clouds are projected to be thinning out for kind of a partly to mostly sunny day as we move forward. Here's the way Futurecast shows it, and you're going to see this morning. And then here we are later today, and see the cloud kind of thin out, kind of partly to mostly sunny, and certainly more sunny or clear to the north, and certainly more cloudiness overall as you drop down to the south today. Here is the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. You folks in Wasco County waking up to some fog this morning. And when you get fog, your winds are typically calm. That's the case. Above freezing, though, 37 is your current number. Our state capital, so far this has been good visibility all morning. Temperature holding at 40 degrees. That's been really steady today so far. Here is the fog, certainly in the West Hills. You can see the cloud deck is down, nipping the downtown cityscape. Temperature out at PDX is 37. There's a dense fog pocket out along the Columbia River, especially on the I-5 side. 36 up in Kelso. Good morning to you folks. We have generally freezing temps east of the Cascades this morning. Pendleton is sitting at 32 degrees. Valley forecast numbers Partly to mostly sunny skies are coming with light winds generally and temperatures well up into the 50s. This shows mid-50s in Salem and Albany and out into McMinnville. This shows could be as warm as 57 in Battleground today. We are looking for east winds to pick up just a little bit out near the gorge. Not what I would call a windy day, but 5 to 20 mile per hour winds. Our 7-day is all dry through the day on Thursday. Looks like we'll get more in the way of some freezing temps. Haven't had many, but we'll get more in the way of freezing numbers overnight tonight and also Thursday morning. And then the first wave of showers develops during the day Friday. That first front doesn't have much definition. It's tough to tell when we get the first raindrops, but I do think we'll have rain at times both days, Saturday, Valentine's Day, and also Sunday. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert on the east side, looking right there in the median or in the gore point of the exit ramp. This is I-205 northbound near Killingsworth, near Sandy Boulevard, and you can see traffic is starting to slow a little bit around this, although as I say this, it looks like they've just kind of moved it out of the travel lanes, but in any event, it is causing some local slowing. I'll give you a different perspective here. This is Sandy Boulevard down below, and you can see that northbound 205 drive really starting to slow. Working your way through there. So be aware of that as you hit the roads. Also, obviously, you can see some of the fog out there on the east side of town as well. I-5 through Vancouver and North Portland, that's also pretty slow. This is up near the Interstate Bridge at SR 14, and the taillights tell the slow tail of that southbound drive, which is up to 17 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris. And the second deadline to pay the Nancy Guthrie ransom has now passed. Coming up, we have the latest in the investigation as a search now enters its 10th day.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The search for Nancy Guthrie has entered its 10th day as a ransom note's second deadline passed Monday.
This comes after Today Show host Savannah Guthrie posted another video Monday saying the family believes their 84-year-old mother is still out there. Ivan Rodriguez reports.
A second purported deadline has passed in the disappearance of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother. According to a purported ransom note sent to a Tucson TV station, Nancy Guthrie's possible abductors demanded $6 million by 5 p.m. Monday. The note included a threat to Guthrie's life if demands weren't met. Just hours before that deadline passed, Savannah Guthrie posted another video to social media, this time addressing the public instead of her mother's alleged kidnappers.
We believe our mom is still out there. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help.
People seem to have been heeding that call, with new billboards going up across the country urging anyone with information about the case to call authorities. The FBI releasing a new statement Monday night saying it still has not identified a suspect or person of interest in the case. The agency also appealing to the public, writing in part, quote, "Someone has that one piece of information that can help us bring Nancy home." Harvey Levin of TMZ, which also received the ransom note, reacting to the statement.
Well, I think it aligns with Savannah Guthrie's desperate plea.
In Catalina Foothills, Arizona, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Meantime, newly released body cam video is giving us a glimpse at what happened after a man opened fire at Brown University, killing 2 students and injuring 9 others in December in Providence, Rhode Island.
On the second floor of this building. Let's get them to arrest you. Where we station arrest.
The body camera belongs to one of the first police lieutenants inside. The 20-minute video includes a video of abandoned backpacks and computers after students ran for cover. The Providence police chief says long segments were blacked out or muted to avoid re-victimizing anyone. The city waited to release the video until after a campus memorial for the 2 students who were killed. Those students were just 19 and 18 years old.
San Francisco 49er player Keon White is recovering from surgery this morning after getting shot in the ankle Sunday night. The defensive lineman was hosting a Super Bowl party at a nightclub in California when police say 2 groups got into a verbal altercation and someone shot White. The NFL star is a former New England Patriot.
Ghislaine Maxwell appeared before the House Oversight Committee for a virtual deposition Monday, but she didn't answer any questions, instead opting to plead the Fifth. Maxwell was the accomplice of a convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. She was convicted in 2021 of sex trafficking a minor and other charges.
Well, coming up in our next half hour, Olympic controversy as President Trump responds to some athletes in Team USA over what they said during their press conferences. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz will join us live with the latest. Plus, have you ever thought that the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday? Well, you aren't alone. Look at the push to make that happen as Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues right after this.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news.
Coming up on 7:29 on your Tuesday morning drive, we pick it up over on the east side, I-205 northbound. ODOT dealing with a crash here near the Sandy Boulevard exit ramp. It looks like they've got that cleared to the shoulder here, so traffic is moving a little bit better, but there is some local slowing getting around that. I think as you look closely here, you can also see some of the fog hanging in the air on the east side as you can through Vancouver as well. There's the I-5 commute at the Interstate Bridge. Right now that drive is 16 minutes to get you from Main Street to the Fremont. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. We do have a fog advisory up. Generally, it hasn't been that foggy overall in the valley, but to Chris's point, you might run into some of that. No fog here. Beautiful clear sky morning in Seaside. I wanted to show you the thick frost on the grass. That's the Mount Hood, Oregon Resort up in elevation at Welch's. And there is a shot of the Interstate Bridge. This is the clearest the visibility's been there from that Springs at the Waterfront camera all morning. We're at 37. A partly to mostly sunny day is coming, 49 at noon. I have us getting up to about 54 for a high today. The forecast is all dry at this point through Thursday.
Good morning. We are starting with a live look from our Timberline Skycam. It looks like there's some snow out there.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. How much did we get?
Did you say 14 inches?
14 Sunday night, and then it tapered down to a couple inches during the day yesterday. But yeah, 14 new.
That has to be like top amounts in 24 hours the past, no?
Well, this winter, you're
Yeah.
right. This winter probably makes the list
I've never heard that.
of big snow dumps,
Yeah.
which is
Really sad.
kind of sad
Yeah.
that would make the list. But yeah, you're probably right. My turn?
Go.
My turn, go. All right. Oh, I'm hurrying. Here's our Salem sky camera this morning. We have good visibility here. You know, on these mornings where we have fog, this is often one of the spots we monitor, but not so far on this Tuesday. Holding at 40. It's been that same temperature since I got in this morning. Here is definitely fog up in the West Hills because you can see looking across the Willamette, the low clouds kind of nipping at the downtown cityscape. The temperature of 37 with dense fog being reported out along the Columbia River right now. Our day moving forward, once you lose the fog, partly cloudy at noon, 49. Average getting up into the mid-50s. Will be mostly sunny and 51 at 5 p.m. By the way, sunset tonight, 5:30. Here's Chris.
We've gained it about an hour and 20 minutes of daylight since the solstice. Yeah, all right, we got that going for us. All right, let's get you out the door. We got a fender bender over on I-205 northbound. Actually, maybe more involved than that. I did see medics on the scene here not too long ago. In any event, the crash has been cleared to the shoulder, but northbound is still running a little slow back towards Interstate 84, and I think you get a feel for that here. This is Sandy Boulevard. That's I-205 down below. So northbound running a little bit thick on that side of town. Meanwhile, your trip out of Clark County, I-5 south, right there, it's moving okay at the Interstate Bridge, but you get into North Portland right there at the Expo Center, and it is riding the brake the rest of the way down to the Fremont Bridge. 17 minutes gets you in from Main Street to I-405. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. A St. Helens man is in custody accused of plotting to kill ICE agents. Police arrested 19-year-old Raiden Coleman outside an assisted living facility where he works. According to court documents, Coleman was making payments to buy AR rifles and had gathered bottles and sand for Molotov cocktails. Authorities also say Coleman admitted to some of his plan. He is set to appear in court on Wednesday.
A federal judge in California has ruled that a new state law which prevents federal law enforcement officers from wearing masks to cover their faces unlawfully discriminates against those officers. The judge said that California unfairly targeted federal agents since state and local officers can still cover their face. The ruling also gave Democrats one win, letting a law requiring officers to show ID take effect. Meanwhile, lawmakers in Olympia are pushing to ban face masks for all law enforcement.
After a lot of reflection and heartfelt conversations with my family, I've decided not to seek another term as chair of Multnomah County.
Well, it's been just under 2 months since Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson announced that she would not be seeking a second term, meaning county voters will elect a new chair in November using ranked choice voting. And right now, only 2 candidates have publicly announced their bid to be the next leader of Oregon's most populous county. That includes current Commissioner Shannon Singleton. And just yesterday, Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards announced her bid for the role. Meanwhile, legendary alpine skier Lindsey Vonn is still in the hospital after she broke her leg in a crash just 13 seconds into Sunday's race. Yesterday, Vonn confirmed she broke her tibia, and while she's stable right now, she says it will take multiple surgeries to fix. The president of the International Ski Federation says he hopes to see her back on the slopes.
With this injury, I'm sure she will think very carefully about it, maybe not make a decision straight away. And I certainly hope that we'll see her competing very, very soon.
Meanwhile, Vaughn's father told the Associated Press, quote, she's 41 years old and this is the end of her career. Vaughn tore her ACL in the Swiss Alps about a week before the race, but had done well in training runs. She says that injury had nothing to do with Sunday's crash.
And yeah, we're just a few days into the Winter Olympics, and American athletes are already using their platforms to speak out on political issues related to the Trump administration.
One of those athletes being Bend freestyle skier Hunter Hess. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live this morning with the latest. Thomas.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, yesterday the 27-year-old skier from Bend expanded on his comments that drew the ire of President Trump, who called him a real loser over the weekend and hard to root for. Here's Hess's comments that first sparked the president's backlash.
If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
Hess took to Instagram yesterday saying, quote, "There is so much that is great about America, but there are always things that could be better. One of the many things that makes this country so amazing is that we have the right and the freedom to point that out." Earlier this week, figure skater Amber Glenn, who brought home gold, spoke out about how things are going for the LGBTQ+ community in the United States.
It's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights.
Glenn called the backlash for, quote, "just supporting people" outlandish and says she will be stepping back from social media. A third Olympian, snowboarder Chloe Kim, was asked about Hess's comments and President Trump's response. Here's what she had to say.
I'm really proud to represent the United States. The U.S. has given my family and I so much opportunity, but I also think that we are allowed to voice our opinions on what's going on, and I think that we need to lead with love and compassion.
Kim added, in times like this, she thinks it's important to unite and stand up for each other as well. Matthew, China.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thank you, Thomas. And though the Olympics date back to ancient Greece nearly 3,000 years ago, the Olympics nowadays very different.
That's right. Tim Gordon spoke with a University of Oregon professor about how the games bring not only big competition, but big business to the global stage.
The time has come for us to see the Olympic flame light up the sky in Italy for the 2026 Winter Games. It's an international sporting event running for 19 days with a massive worldwide audience.
It's huge. Every 4 years, every 2 now that the Winter and the Summer Games are off cycle, it's something that the world aligns around.
Lauren Anderson is director of the Warsaw Sports Business Center at the University of Oregon, where they study the Olympics. When it comes to marketing, the cost and reward for sponsors is extreme, with hundreds of millions watching. Some estimates put it as high as $3 billion across all platforms around the globe.
Sponsorship is big. I mean, Coke's the longest standing Olympic sponsor, and I think in 2028 it'll be 100 years of Olympic sponsorship of the modern games. So it's pretty big, right? And you don't sponsor a property if it's not working.
As viewers in between the sporting events, we'll see some pretty cool spots. This one from Airbnb.
Airbnb is a newer partner within the last decade or so. Obviously, as a travel company, they're adjacent to the games.
Anderson says partnering up with the Olympics is a long-term, expensive deal, and the Olympic brand is closely guarded. Those rings mean something.
The rings mean something. I mean, people pay a lot of money to use the rings. There are a lot of rules. They are very tightly guarded.
But companies from Omega, the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games since 1932, to Corona Beer, are willing to pay the price to get so many eyes on their products and services associated with the Games. And for us here at KGW, an NBC affiliate, we're happy to be the ones you're watching for the Olympics and for other sporting events, along with the commercials.
This is a crazy month of February for sports, and it all seems to be happening on NBC. Super Bowl, NBA is back on NBC, NBA All-Star Game, 19 days of the Olympics. It's going to be great.
You just got to keep it on KGW the entire month of February.
Pretty simple.
Absolutely. Don't turn it off.
I feel like we should have free 6-packs of Coca-Cola sitting around the newsroom, too.
I was just looking that up. It was invented in 1886. Can you believe that?
The soda was?
Yeah.
1886.
Yeah. When she said they've been sponsoring almost 100 years, I had
Yeah.
to look it up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Decades.
China's blown away, Rod. You can tell.
I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, it's a long time ago. Here's our look at the Astoria column camera up at the Astor column, and now it is kind of foggy up in elevation on the hill. 34 degrees. This shows perhaps sunny down low. We do know our nearby Seaside live camera has been showing clear skies. You drop down to Lincoln City, and there's some mid to high level clouds, but otherwise all dry and a nice morning, 40 degrees there. We've had varying fog pockets here in the valley this morning. Hasn't been that widespread overall. You can see the cloud deck is low coming into Portland, but visibility along I-5 seems to be just fine. 37 is the number out at the airport. A couple spots have gotten down to freezing. Let's see, right now we've got Scappoose and Hillsboro each at 33, 38 in Oregon City. Estacada reporting 31, and there's Salem holding at 40 since I checked back at 2 o'clock this morning. That's been 40 degrees every single hour. All right, Nico and Mila are pets of the day on this Tuesday. Beautiful cat photo there. I'm taking a snooze. Pet of the day at KGW.com's email address. Send us the photos, and we will feature your pets on our show. All right, the weather map today is dry. We've got some cloudiness coming up from the south. We think mid to high level stuff. So kind of a partly to mostly sunny day moving forward. You can see the temperatures warming right back up into the 50s here on the west side. 7-day forecast, 54 today. Chilly nights coming, a better chance of getting down to freezing, but 55 tomorrow and 52 on Thursday. Rain showers return on Friday, and we have rain at times on your Valentine's Day Saturday. Here's Chris.
Rodney, thank you for that. Let's pick it up over on the east side. Checking out the I-205 drive. Actually, not east side, but I-205 from Oregon City to West Lynn. That's right there. That's the southbound commute near Highway 43, so just south of the Abernathy Bridge. Traffic running a little thick on that side of town. Right now, your drive from Clackamas south of Tualatin is up to about 20 minutes. Not all that unusual for this hour of a Tuesday morning commute, but getting busier nonetheless. Also pretty thick over on the east side here in the Gateway District. That is Interstate 84 westbound, slow and go coming in from that area down to the I-5 split. Right now that drive in from Troutdale is averaging 22 minutes. And last but not least, the trip through North Portland right there, slow and steady on I-5 up near the Expo Center. Right now we're looking at about 20 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. Well, if you called out yesterday because of the Super Bowl, well, you weren't the only one alone. Coming up in just 2 minutes, we'll take a look at the push to make the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues right after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
The Super Bowl champions are now back in Seattle. The team landed at SeaTac Airport yesterday carrying the Lombardi Trophy with them. They were greeted by the 12s. Many of them were at the airport to see the buses carry the team to the Seahawks practice facility. They hung signs and cheered for their team. The 12s are considered some of the biggest and best fans in the league. They want to make sure that their team knows that they are appreciated for what they accomplished.
I love that there's not any real ego that I find with this. You know, it's we as one.
We are part of the team. We represent. I personally want them to know that us 12s love them. This town is going to lose their mind, and the whole world knows who we are.
Take that. You win the Super Bowl, you get a parade. The Seahawks championship ceremony and parade is in downtown Seattle Wednesday. You can watch the celebration live on our free streaming app, KGW+. Live coverage begins at 9 o'clock. The ceremony at Lumen Field starts at 10, followed by the parade, which is set to kick off at 11. And if you called out of work yesterday because you spent all night celebrating the Seahawks, on Sunday, you're in good company.
We did not have the luxury of doing that.
No, we did not.
In fact, so many people do this every year that some think that the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. Well, Michael Yoshida explains.
Super Bowl Sunday have you wanting to call a timeout?
Nobody wants to work the Monday after the biggest game in football.
Nonprofit Super Monday Off Coalition is trying to make this idea a reality.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, seriously.
Advocating to make the day after the big game a national holiday.
What if we could pass some coffee runs?
Hard pass.
This effort is supported by goods and food delivery company GoPuff, donating to the cause and urging customers to sign a petition and contact elected officials.
We saw that our customers, the biggest two categories on the day after the Super Bowl are electrolyte drinks and water. We know they're looking for a sense of recovery. We know they're looking for a day off in some capacity.
A feeling apparently shared by many. A survey from UKG, a leading HR, payroll, and workforce management company, found that this year, an estimated 26.2 million American workers plan to miss work the Monday after the Super Bowl.
That leads to $5.2 billion in lost productivity.
UKG's Julie Devlin says whether it becomes a holiday or not, the message is clear.
The Super Bowl is really just the headline. The real story is, how do workplaces handle predictable disruptions all year long?
Devlin says companies should prepare with employees for big sports and pop culture events, especially routine ones like the Super Bowl. Also, making it easy to request time off or swap shifts can help lead to less disruption.
What we're trying to prevent here is that ghosting piece. We don't want employees just not showing up.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Thoughts? In favor?
Listen, I mean, I keep saying if you just push the season back a week, it does fall on a national holiday.
Or maybe you just put it on a Saturday.
No, because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Saturday has the same ring to it.
Nah, it doesn't.
You boys.
I like tradition.
Yeah, I'm not in favor.
Well, you said you take the Monday off.
Well, when the Chiefs play my team, I don't call in sick. I take a vacation.
I will never have to worry about that.
But yeah,
the Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart.
You should take the week off if the Browns ever get in the Super Bowl.
I will take a month off.
Here's a look at something we talked about yesterday. I want to let you know overall this is still on track, and that's starting this Friday the 13th. All of the West Coast projected by NOAA to see below normal temperature averages, and then that trend continues right here for the West Coast through the 21st. Again, as I said yesterday, nobody's promising you an Arctic outbreak. Nobody's promising you a big valley snowstorm. What we are saying is that we're finally seeing, and this isn't much, but it's something, we're finally seeing signs that the majority of weather fronts coming in the remainder of this month, starting this Friday and Saturday, will deliver some snow at to below Cascade Pass level. So there is hope that we'll at least be jump-starting our dismal snowpack. We picked up that 14 inches of timberline last Sunday and Monday, so maybe we can have a decent finish and get some bases built up as we approach spring break season, which isn't all of a sudden that far off. Here's a look at what's going on today. We've got a low spinning off the coast of California, rain showers in California, and then the cloudiness kind of streams northward into our area. Expected to be kind of mid to high level stuff for a partly to mostly sunny day once we lose the morning fog. Futurecast does show it here at 9 o'clock. See the clouds coming up from the south, and then they kind of thin out. If anything, you find more clouds today to the south, more in the way of clear blue skies as you travel northward. We do have a dense fog advisory out. It hasn't been one of the foggier mornings overall. I mean, we've had about as many spots reporting no fog as the one saying, hey, we have fog. Here is, hey, we have fog from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha in Washington County. It's also getting down near freezing. And a reminder that freezing fog can lay down ice crystals and give you a surprise slick spot, especially if you're walking. Here is the other side, the east side, foggy here too. So this is Camas Meadows Golf Course. That tells you there's really no wind east or west side to start our day. It is 40 down in Salem, 32 in Bend, 21 in Baker City. Nice morning at the coast. Seaside camera, remember, has been showing clear skies. Other coastal cameras show varying cloud cover. Here's a look at the beach forecast today. Partly to mostly sunny skies coming after some foggy areas to start. This shows Pacific City all the way up to 58 degrees, really warm. We do have some fog pockets, especially out near the Dalles. Sunshine expected to come. East winds picking up a little bit out on the west end of the gorge. Shows Hood River at 49. Portland 54 today. We're dry through Thursday. Showers return on Friday. The rain amounts aren't impressive at this point, but I do think it's going to be wet more than not both days this upcoming Valentine's weekend. Don't forget to kiss your favorite weatherman during Valentine's weekend. I'll be ready for you.
We'll set up the kissing booth right out on 1501 Southwest Jefferson. Don't everybody fight for the opportunity there. Let's go ahead and pick it up on the east side of town. I-205 over near Johnson Creek Boulevard. That northbound commute's running a little thick. Right now we're up to about 15 minutes to get you from Clackamas north of Banfield. Just for the privilege of getting stuck in this lineup, I-84 westbound, of course, really slow coming in from the Gateway District. It's also a little foggy to Rod's Point there over on that side of town. We'll switch gears, take you over to the Sylvan Hill, Highway 26, busy but moving, coming in from Skyline Boulevard. We're up to about 23 minutes now from Brookwood Parkway. That's your inbound drive on the Sunset. And last but not least, I-5 through North Portland. Slow and steady as you roll out of Vancouver. We're up to 21 minutes. Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris.
We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her.
Well, a pilot calling out what he thought would be his final words as his plane dives towards a busy intersection. The remarkable crash landing caught on camera. Coming up when sunrise continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
To dramatic images near Atlanta, where a small plane made an emergency landing on a busy road moments after one of the pilots radioed what he thought would be his final message to his family.
And we should note here, everyone on board and on the ground survived. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Stunning video from Gainesville, Georgia captured the moment a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza crashed into a busy intersection. On board, 2 pilots, including a student.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Just seconds earlier, one of them radioed a goodbye.
We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
The plane careened down the road, slamming into 3 vehicles, a fuel tank embedded in the back of an SUV, the driver covered in fuel. The plane had taken off from a nearby airport and was trying to turn back when it developed engine trouble. Amazingly, only 2 people suffered minor injuries. Both pilots walked away.
The fact that they were able to land in the middle of hundreds of vehicles and only hit 3 of them, no power lines, is very remarkable.
And everything that we do as a primate center is moving towards a future where non-human primates are not used.
Well, following years of controversy, the future of the Oregon National Primate Research Center is looking more certain. The OHSU Board of Directors voted in favor of a resolution to open conversations about turning the research center in Hillsborough into a primate sanctuary. The vote followed hours of emotional public testimony on the impact of the center. Some shared stories of how the facility impacted their lives, emphasizing the importance of the center and the research it does. Others, such as animal rights group PETA, say the research being done on primates is outdated.
The only research we do at the Primate Center is research that has to be done in non-human primates or human subjects.
We've moved beyond using monkeys in experiments for science. There are more human-relevant methods we can be using, and today is really just part of the move to start investing in those human-relevant technologies and leave.
OHSU will negotiate with the National Institutes of Health on the next steps for transitioning into a sanctuary, though keep in mind, nothing is a done deal yet. It's just the start of the process.
Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues with state leaders taking the Moda Center renovation plan into their own hands.
What the bill lays out and how they plan to fund the multi-million-dollar project. And this is a live look at the your Winter Olympics coverage continues. You're getting a live look from our Olympic flame cam out in Milan. We're back at the winds overnight and previewing some of the action on the ice that is still coming today ahead at 8.